I've had this thought for a long time about how the media, in its current form, probably for the last 30 or 40 years, is probably one of the best examples of how the things that Marx used to talk about, in the manifestos and what have you, that really apply, that actually make sense and actually work. Because the media is, like they call it the fifth column, it is all of this power given to unelected morons who have taken this power and abused it. A power, honestly, when it comes to things like the media, I think 80, probably 80% of anyone could be a journalist. It's not hard. It'd probably take maybe a month worth of classes to be able to write correctly and understand how to source things. And that's just so that the 80%, I think most people, you could teach them in 3 hours everything they need to be a journalist and to be good at it and to not be corrupt. So anyone can do it. So you can replace anyone in the media with anyone at any time, just like Hollywood. These are all more unelected people who earn hundreds of millions of dollars, sometimes even more than that. And they don't do anything. They read. They're paid hundreds of millions of dollars to look pretty and read. Anyone could do these jobs. We don't need someone pretty to tell us the news. But we have these pretty morons who think just like in Hollywood, except they have extra credence. Not only did they read a piece of paper, they read a piece of paper that was the news. So they must be trustworthy. They must be honest, except they're neither of these things. So I think Marxism applies to Hollywood and the media. I think that they should all be removed from their power. I think the people should take over by force and remove these people from their levers of power, and that the people should control these things, and that the people will make sure that they're honest. If they're not doing their job, if they're not being honest, then the people can just remove them. And then they can redistribute all of that money, because there's literally no reason why one person should make $10 million while everyone else who does all the actual work, the grips, the editors, what have you, the actual writers, the hundreds of people in Hollywood and media who actually make these movies happen, who make these television shows happen, that make the news happen, they don't get 1% of the money that the person in the front gets. Now, unlike in business, see, because that's the thing. In business, the person at the top took the risk, is still taking the risk, is reaping the rewards of controlling everything. In Hollywood and in the media, well, yeah, there's someone who owns the business, but the person making the most money, other than the owner, is, the TV anchor or, the star of the movie who contributed 2% of the overall effort. But because they're the face, they get everything. And it amazes me nonstop that these Marxists who think that they're so enlightened, who think that all they can do is think about their redistribution and what's fair, that despite this, they've never, to my knowledge, once have brought up going after the elites in Hollywood, going after the elites in the media, because that's where their power comes from. They already have control over Hollywood. They already have control over the media. The last thing they would ever want is the people to actually have control, because that's the fun rub about Marxism. They talk about the people like they want them to help. They want to help the poor, that they want to help the people, but they don't give two goddams about the people. They care about themselves and they care about power. That's why they protect Hollywood. That's why they protect the media, because the only thing they've ever wanted was power, and the only thing they will ever protect is their own personal power. But that does not mean that we can't use our enemies' words against them. I say, rise up. I say we should be storming the halls of the New York Times and the MSBNC or whatever it's called, and Fox News and all of them. We should storm in and go, nope, you're all fired. We've taken over. Whoever owns the business, you can still own it. We're running it now. But maybe it's just me. See you next time, guys.